You spent $40 on a bottle of supplements last month. The month before that, another $30 on something for your joints. And the month before that, something for sleep. You stood in that pharmacy aisle under the fluorescent lights, staring at a wall of plastic bottles, and somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet thought crept in. How did people handle this before all of this existed? Here's the truth nobody in that aisle is going to tell you. They handled it beautifully. For thousands of years, the women who ran households, raised children, and kept families healthy didn't need a pharmacy. They had a garden. And the herbs growing in that garden were doing things that modern medicine is only now beginning to confirm with clinical studies. You already have the space. You might even have some of these plants already growing and have no idea what they're capable of. By the time this is over, you're going to know 13 herbs your great-grandmother kept close, used daily, and relied on for life. Not one season. Not until the next trip to town. Forever. These are plants you grow once, and many of them will never need replanting. They come back year after year, season after season, asking almost nothing from you and giving back more than you can imagine. We're talking about real food security, real medicine cabinet freedom, and the kind of self-sufficiency that means you stop handing your money to corporations for things the earth will grow for free. This is what a complete, living herbal pharmacy looks like, growing right outside your back door. Now, most of these you've heard of. But numbers 9 and 4 are going to genuinely stop you. Number 9 is something most people are actively pulling out of their gardens right now, today, not knowing it's one of the most powerful healing plants on the planet. And number 4, well, this one shocked me when I first learned about it. It's been used continuously for over 5,000 years, and there's a reason ancient healers considered it more valuable than gold. Stay with me. You will not want to miss number 4. Number 13. Lemon Balm. This gentle, lemon-scented herb is one of the most underestimated plants you can grow, and once you put it in the ground, it will be there forever. Lemon balm is a member of the mint family, which means it spreads enthusiastically, comes back every single year in hardiness zones 3 through 9, and laughs at neglect. Your great-grandmother likely kept a pot of it on the windowsill or a patch near the kitchen door. She used it as a tea for anxiety, sleeplessness, and nervous stomachs, and modern research has backed her up. Studies now show lemon balm directly reduces cortisol response and improves sleep quality. 1 cup of lemon balm tea before bed, steeped for 10 minutes, is something you can have every night for the rest of your life without spending a single dollar once the plant is established. Bonus tip: crush a handful of fresh lemon balm leaves and rub them on your skin before going outside. It's a natural insect repellent that actually works, and it smells far better than anything in a spray can. Number 12.
Chamomile.
Picture a field of tiny white and yellow daisy-like flowers swaying in a summer breeze. That's German chamomile, and it has been growing in European cottage gardens and apothecary plots for at least 2,000 years. Roman physicians used it. Medieval herbalists considered it a cure-all. Your great-grandmother probably had it drying in bundles from the kitchen rafters. The reason chamomile has lasted this long is simple: it works. It soothes inflammation, calms digestive upset, helps with sleep, and speeds wound healing when applied as a compress. German chamomile self-seeds so reliably that once you plant it, you will never need to buy it again. It just keeps coming back year after year forever. Bonus tip: brew a strong batch of chamomile tea, let it cool, and use it as a hair rinse. It naturally brightens blonde and light brown hair and conditions the scalp. Your great-grandmother knew this, and she never paid for a conditioning treatment in her life. Number 11.
Thyme.
Most people think thyme is just a cooking herb, something you throw into a roast chicken. They are leaving 90% of its value on the table. Thyme contains a compound called thymol, which is so powerfully antimicrobial that it's used in commercial antiseptic products today. But your great-grandmother was using the fresh plant for coughs, bronchitis, and sore throat centuries before any lab confirmed why it worked. A simple thyme honey, made by packing fresh thyme sprigs into raw honey and letting it infuse for 2 weeks, was the original cough syrup. Thyme is a perennial in zones 4 through 9, drought-tolerant, and practically indestructible. Plant it once, and you will have it forever. Bonus tip: plant thyme between your vegetable rows. It repels cabbage worms, aphids, and whiteflies naturally, so it's pulling double duty as medicine and pest control at the same time. Number 10. Rosemary. This is one of the oldest cultivated herbs on Earth. Roman soldiers carried rosemary on long campaigns, not just for cooking, but because they believed it sharpened memory and fortified the mind during battle. Scholars in medieval universities wore rosemary garlands during exams. Your great-grandmother would have found this completely unsurprising. Modern neuroscience has confirmed what those ancient cultures knew. The aroma of rosemary alone has been shown in clinical studies to improve memory retention and mental clarity. As a circulatory herb, it increases blood flow, supports the liver, and has potent antioxidant properties. In zones 7 through 11 it grows as an evergreen perennial, meaning you have a living, breathing medicine and culinary herb in your garden every single day of the year. Bonus tip: make a rosemary-infused oil by packing a jar with fresh rosemary and covering it with olive oil for 3 weeks. Use it to massage your scalp twice a week. It's been used for centuries to slow hair thinning, and the research now supports it. And wait, because what's coming up next will completely change how you think about the weeds in your own backyard. Number 9.
Plantain.
And no, not the banana. This is the one I warned you about. Right now, there is almost certainly broadleaf plantain growing in your lawn, your garden beds, along your fence line, and you have been pulling it out and throwing it away. Stop. Immediately. Plantain, the humble low-growing weed with the ribbed oval leaves, is one of the most effective wound-healing, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial plants that exists. It has been used in every traditional healing system on every continent where it grows. Your great-grandmother would have chewed a leaf and pressed it directly onto a bee sting, a cut, or a rash, and the relief was almost instant because plantain contains allantoin, a compound that actively promotes cell regeneration. You don't need to plant this one. It's already there. You just need to stop treating it like a weed and start treating it like the pharmacy it is. Bonus tip: make a simple plantain salve by infusing dried plantain leaves in coconut oil for 4 weeks, then mixing with melted beeswax. Pour into small tins and you have a healing balm for cuts, eczema, and insect bites that costs almost nothing and lasts for months. Number 8. Feverfew. The name says everything. Feverfew was the aspirin of the pre-industrial world, grown in almost every cottage garden in England and colonial America for reducing fevers, relieving headaches, and calming inflammation. It's a cheerful little plant with small daisy-like flowers. It self-seeds freely, and once it's established in your garden, it will be there forever without you lifting a finger. What makes Feverfew remarkable is its specific, well-documented action against migraines. Multiple clinical trials have shown that eating 2 or 3 fresh feverfew leaves daily, often sandwiched between bread to reduce the bitterness, significantly reduces migraine frequency. Nurseries won't tell you this because if you know this, you stop buying the expensive supplements. Bonus tip: grow feverfew near your roses. It deters aphids better than most chemical sprays and adds a beautiful, delicate texture to the garden border.
Quick pause here.
If this is already reshaping how you see the plants around you, go ahead and subscribe. I put out content like this every single day, and what's coming in the next few videos is going to take your self-sufficiency garden to a completely different level. Number 7. Echinacea. This prairie wildflower was the most important medicinal plant of the Plains tribes of North America. Every part of it, the root, the leaves, the flowers, was used to fight infection, heal wounds, and strengthen the body's defenses. Early settlers learned it from indigenous healers, and by the late 1800s, it was the best-selling herbal medicine in America. Then pharmaceutical companies arrived, and it got quietly pushed aside. Echinacea is a perennial that returns every year for decades. It's drought-tolerant, beautiful in the garden, and the research behind it as an immune system support herb is among the strongest of any medicinal plant. Plant it once in zones 3 through 9, and you'll have a self-renewing immune support system growing in your backyard forever. Bonus tip: don't harvest Echinacea root until the plant is at least 3 years old. The medicinal compounds concentrate over time, and roots from older plants are significantly more potent than anything you'll buy in a health food store. Number 6. Valerian. Most people know valerian as a sleep herb, and yes, your great-grandmother almost certainly kept dried valerian root in the house for exactly that purpose. But smart gardeners know this tall, beautiful perennial with clusters of tiny pink and white flowers does much more than help you sleep. It was used historically for anxiety, muscle tension, nervous headaches, and even epilepsy in traditional European herbal medicine. Valerian grows vigorously in zones 4 through 9, reaches 4 to 5 feet tall, and comes back reliably every year. The root is what you use medicinally, and it develops its full potency after 2 growing seasons. This is what old-school homesteaders knew that modern gardeners have completely forgotten. Patience in the garden pays off in ways that no supplement bottle ever will. Bonus tip: valerian flowers are intensely attractive to cats, even more so than catnip. But more usefully, they attract earthworms in extraordinary numbers. Plant valerian in your vegetable beds and watch your soil fertility improve season after season. Number 5. Calendula. If there is one herb every self-sufficient household must grow, calendula is it. Bright orange and yellow flowers that bloom from late spring straight through to frost, producing so many blossoms that you will have more than you can possibly use. Ancient Egyptians used it. Ayurvedic physicians prescribed it. Medieval European healers called it pot marigold and used it in everything from soups to wound dressings. Calendula is one of the most thoroughly studied skin healing herbs in existence. It reduces inflammation, speeds wound closure, fights fungal infections, and soothes everything from sunburn to eczema. It reseeds itself so freely that once you plant it, you will never buy it again. It becomes a permanent fixture of your garden, forever producing medicine you can use every single day. Bonus tip: infuse dried calendula petals in olive oil for 4 weeks and you have the base for the finest homemade skin cream, salve, or lip balm imaginable. It's worth $40 an ounce in natural cosmetic stores. You will be making it for almost nothing. Number 4. Ashwagandha. Alright, here it is. The one I promised would surprise you. Number 4. Ashwagandha. This plant has been in continuous use for over 5,000 years in Ayurvedic medicine, which makes it one of the most ancient and continuously validated medicinal herbs on earth. Ancient texts described it as a rasayana, a substance that promotes youthfulness, longevity, and resilience. Modern clinical research now confirms it reduces cortisol, supports thyroid function, increases physical endurance, improves cognitive clarity, and helps the body adapt to stress in ways that no synthetic drug can replicate without serious side effects. Ashwagandha grows as an annual in most of North America, but is perennial in zones 8 through 12. In cooler climates, you grow it as you would tomatoes, starting indoors and transplanting after frost. The root, harvested in the plant's second year, is where all the power lives. A supplement bottle of ashwagandha extract costs $30 to $50 and lasts 1 month. Your homegrown root, dried and powdered, costs you almost nothing and gives you the same benefit forever. Bonus tip: mix half a teaspoon of dried ashwagandha root powder into warm whole milk with a little raw honey and black pepper before bed. This ancient preparation, called golden milk adapted for ashwagandha, dramatically improves deep sleep quality and is something you can do every single night of your life once your plant is established. Number 3. Holy basil, Tulsi. This is not the basil you put on your pizza. Holy basil, known as Tulsi across South and Southeast Asia, is considered the most sacred plant in the Hindu tradition and has been grown in household gardens for 3,000 years not as food, but as living medicine and spiritual protection. Every part of this plant, leaves, flowers, seeds, roots, has documented medicinal action. Tulsi is an adaptogen, which means it helps your body regulate stress hormones and maintain balance under pressure. It's anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, supports blood sugar regulation, and produces one of the most beautiful, complex herbal teas you will ever taste. In zones 10 and 11 it's perennial. In cooler zones it self-seeds so freely it effectively behaves like a perennial. You plant it once, and it takes care of itself forever. Bonus tip: keep a pot of holy basil on your kitchen windowsill year-round. The volatile oils it releases into the air have measurable air purifying effects, and the act of brushing the leaves as you walk past and inhaling the aroma is itself a documented stress-reducing practice. Number 2. Elderberry. Before there were flu shots, there were elder trees. Elderberry syrup was the seasonal immune preparation in households across Europe and North America for centuries. Your great-grandmother made it every autumn, jarred it, and used it through the winter. It was not a trend.
It was not a supplement fad.
It was basic, essential homestead knowledge that kept families healthy through brutal winters without a doctor anywhere nearby. Elderberry contains potent antiviral flavonoids that have been shown in multiple peer-reviewed studies to reduce the duration and severity of influenza. The elder shrub grows in zones 3 through 9, reaches 10 to 12 feet, produces enormous clusters of deep purple berries every single year, and once established, it will outlive you. Plant one elder, and you have a family medicine tree forever. Bonus tip: don't throw away the elder flowers in early summer. Elderflower cordial, made simply by steeping the fresh flower clusters in sugar water with lemon, is a delicate, beautiful drink that's also mildly antiviral and excellent for respiratory health. 2 seasons from one plant. Number 1.
Comfrey.
If your great-grandmother had one plant she would refuse to garden without, it was comfrey. Called knitbone in Old English folk medicine, comfrey was used for centuries to heal fractures, sprains, bruises, and torn muscles. The name tells you everything. It was believed to literally knit broken things back together. Modern research has confirmed that comfrey root and leaf contain allantoin and rosmarinic acid, compounds that accelerate cell proliferation and reduce inflammation at a rate that genuinely rivals pharmaceutical topical treatments. But comfrey is not just medicine. It is one of the most powerful soil-building plants in existence. Its deep taproots, reaching 6 feet or more into the subsoil, pull up calcium, potassium, and phosphorus that nothing else can reach, and deposit them in the leaves. Cut and drop those leaves as mulch and you are feeding your entire garden for free. Comfrey is a dynamic accumulator, a living fertilizer factory, and a healing herb all in one plant. It returns every year, expands every year, and once you have it, you will never be without it. Forever. Bonus tip: plant comfrey at the base of your fruit trees. As the leaves break down, they release a nutrient profile almost identical to a balanced commercial fertilizer. Your fruit trees will produce more abundantly, your soil will build year after year, and you will never need to buy a bag of fertilizer again. Here's what I want you to see now that we've walked through all 13. These aren't just 13 separate plants. Together, they form a complete, closed-loop herbal system that covers your immune defense, your stress response, your skin and wound care, your sleep, your soil fertility, and your seasonal medicine cabinet. When you combine these plants in one dedicated corner of your garden or spread them through your existing beds, you are building something that is not just a garden. It is an investment in freedom. It is a legacy that grows stronger every single year. Start with just 3. Pick the ones that match your climate zone and your most pressing health priorities. Plant them this season. Tend them simply. Come back here in 12 months, and I promise you, the way you see your garden, your health, and your dependence on outside systems will never be the same again. These aren't just herbs. They are the beginning of a self-sufficient life that your great-grandmother understood completely, and that you are choosing to reclaim right now. Which of these 13 herbs are you most excited to grow first? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'd love to know where you're starting your journey. If you want the next video in this series, where we cover the 10 perennial vegetables you plant once and harvest forever, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell right now so you don't miss it. Every single video on this channel is designed to move you one step closer to true food and health independence. You are not just a gardener. You are someone who refuses to stay dependent. And that changes everything.